Hi guys, we're going to freeball it today. We are going to make a modern metal tone on the Helix Rack from scratch. I'm going to be using my Solar A1.6 Artist, and I need to wear my headphones. So let's do it. Let me just make sure I'm recording the screen. We're good. Clean. All right. Where's my little stool? This little doodad. Just a little step. But it makes playing so much more comfortable when it's standing on this. Fuck, come on. Okay. All right. All right. What do we do first? I switch this. Wrong. Switch this to guitar. Turn the input gate on. Bring my decay down to 10. And this is defaults to -48. I usually bring it up to about 55. If you have it too low and you lose some of the oomph of your guitar, first, I have two impulses in mind already. Yes, two. I like playing with two. So I'll do one impulse block and another impulse block. Hit action, bring her down, bring her over here. You want this there. And because I'm anal, that there. You want your amp here. We are going to be using the Line 6 Badunk for my modern metal tone. It's heavy and it's round and it's fat, but it's not modern. So next, what I typically do is I add, not this, a distortion block, mono, scream 808. I take the gain down to 0, the level up to 10, and I usually start with the tone about 7. That already made a huge difference. We'll bypass. It's kind of like, gets rid of that muddy woofiness. Now, since I didn't leave myself enough space, I'm going to move all this stuff over. Because I like it to look pretty. This is riveting information. Okay, so after that first distortion, I typically bring in another noise gate. And I bring that decay all the way down, just like the other one. And I'll bump this one up even a little bit further to -60, just so it's catching some of that resonant stuff. And if you have this set too low, it kind of chokes her off. See how it's just like kind of muting the notes, which is exactly what it's supposed to be doing. So like I said, -60. Now, let's add an EQ block, but I'm an idiot in doing this out of order. So I usually use the 10-band EQ, but what I typically do is I put it before the overdrive. Actually, now I can't remember. Do I do it before the overdrive or after the overdrive? So what I do, though, with this EQ is I cut out the stuff where I know it's going to be real low-end build-up or low-mid. So at 250, I cut a dB. At 125, I cut a dB and a half. And at 62.5, I'll cut a dB and a half. Let's see what it sounds like before the 808. That's better. Bypassed. Do you hear it? It's really tightening up the bottom end. So now let's go mess with these amp settings. It's pretty flat right now. Not a bad rock tone, but we want something a little more aggressive. So I'll start with the presence, bring that up to about 7. There we go. Now we got some hair. We got some bite. And that's it. We're done. I'm kidding. But you could be done there. But we're not. I'm going to add a little bit more drive. That was me terribly playing Demon of the Fall. And then I usually like a little bit of more mids. That's sounding pretty good. It's a little bit thick on that bottom end. So let's bring the depth down a little. This is where it was. Maybe a little bit more. Now, I don't really know how to explain what I'm looking for, but I know it when I hear it, and it's in the palm mute, in my opinion, especially in the single note stuff. Like, there's just something that I hear that's pleasing, and this tone has it right now. Like, the palm mute is heavy, but you can still hear the note. The note is articulate enough, but you still get some of the weight, and that's what I'm looking for. And that's why I blend 2 IRs also, because let's dick around with this a little bit. If I turn off, let's just turn off the bottom one. This is, first of all, what IRs are these, Nick? I'll tell you when I find. Ooh, boy. Hold on. I'm ill prepared. ML Sound Lab. I came across them on Instagram of all places, and saw some. I mean, they got me with an ad basically on Instagram, and I went and checked out their stuff, and it sounded really good. As you guys know, I usually use Own Hammer stuff, and I have no complaints about Own Hammer stuff. But they had a sale going on. for this, I believe it's a Mesa. What is this son of a bitch? Here we go. I'll bring it up on the screen here. ML Sound Lab Mega Oversize. So basically it's a Mesa. It's a 4x12. And this pack I bought, so it's a 70 watt Celestion Vintage 30. So that's a good speaker because I'm an expert in speakers. These are the mics you get, and you get 5 different mixes of the mic, or mic placements per mic. So I gave them a shot, and I really, really liked how they sounded. So this is one of the cabs. Wrong. I'm wrong. I didn't even select the cabs. Dummy. So the cabs are 23 and 28. I know, I remember, because I was searching. All right. So this is the 121E. A being the closest, I think? Or here, let's just listen. This is an A. So that's less dull, or that's less bright. And E is most bright. So A, B, C, D, E. A being the least bright, E being the most bright. That's how they describe it. I think I had 23. So what is this? OS 121. Let's inform everybody what mic this actually is, Nick. All right. It's the Royer 121. There's also an MD 421. But those are different numbers, 4 and 1, so never mind. 80. Royer 121. Now let's turn that one off and listen to the other one. All right. Let me just do it on here. It'll be way easier. A level, B level. And this one is the 906. Stop closing that, you moron. Sennheiser E906. That's what this one is. Let's hear how that sounds. And I have it on the D. So almost the brightest. That had too much hair. I remember thinking it was just too fizzy. That sounded more pleasing to me. So then you blend them both together. Sorry. So I liked the blend of these two ML sound IRs. And you could call it quits on that. You wanted. But there's a little bit of whistly frequencies happening, and I'm not educated enough to know if you're miking a real amp, if you get these, but I feel like I'm always cutting the same frequencies with the IRs, and this is no exception. So this is what I found working on some of the stuff in the last few days. I'll add an EQ block. Which one did I add? Okay, so I'll add a parametric. That way you can really tune in to the frequency you want. Now I take the high frequency and I'll bring it down to about 4.5K, and I'll jack the Q all the way up. So basically what we're doing is notching. With a high Q, the Q set to 10, it means it's super, super narrow. So when you add or subtract, it's really, really accurate. So we have 4.5K, the Q all the way up, and I subtract about 4 dB. With, without, with, gets rid of some of that, at least with my headphones. And in my monitors, it gets rid of some of that real harsh, just that somewhere like around 4K is just, gross. But it did kind of take away some of that hair and that cut. The air, if you will. So what I'll do is I'll add another EQ block. I think I use this 10 band. Yep, I use this 10 band EQ. And what I'm going to do is boost around that 4K. So I'll boost 2K up a dB, and I'll boost 8K up a dB. Bring some of that life and air back into it. So here's the width. Without. We breathed some air back into it. Breathed, broth. We added some of that air back in. So here's with the EQ, with both EQs. And without both EQs. It sounds more real to me with these EQ moves. And you can be done there. But I tend to think it sounds like it's in a closet. It's so tight. When you hear an amp in a room, even in a studio, you get some of that room. So as some of you will know, I usually add room reverb. So I'll send this to the second path, put the reverb down here, and I go to the legacy room reverb. I bring the pre-delay up a little bit. 20 is just my friend. I'll cut the high a little, and this is where it's default. This is 46%. We're not Devin Townsend here too much, so bring it down to about 15. Let's see how it sounds. I pretty much bring it up just enough to hear it in between everything. And you're thinking like, I don't really hear what it's doing. It's subtle. I get it. But if you take it away, it's just so, it's so dead. It's too dead. So I think it makes a difference. Just blend to taste. Sometimes I have it at 20 even, and that's a lot. Bring it back down. 15. I like 15, 14. And I'm going to clamp down on this noise gate a little bit. 55. What do I have this at? 55. That's good. There we go. This is a complete patch. If you want to get rid of that, you hear that buzz, you hear it taking a little bit to clamp. If you want a real tight tone, you know, you bring this threshold down 50, 50. But remember, like I said, the more you do that, it does kind of shave off some of the tone. And I feel like it does something to the palm mutes. Because like it wants to slam the gate on it. So I'll deal with that little bit of noise. I'm fine with a little bit of noise there. I'll clean it up, and if it's for a final track, I'll clean it up in the mix anyway. There you go, guys. That's how I make a metal tone. I hope that didn't seem too complicated. I don't think it is. The more you do it, the more you learn what sounds good. And again, I'm listening on my headphones. I do a lot of mixing and listening on these headphones. I know how they sound. I know how it translates to other systems. I know how it's going to sound through my monitors when I'm listening through here. A lot of people say you shouldn't mix through headphones. That's fine. Do you. I mix a lot of my headphones, but I also have learned over the time that I've had them, over the time I've had my monitors, how it's going to translate to other things, and ultimately how it's going to translate to a mix. And I like some, if not most, of my mixes, so there's that. That's it, guys. It was just a fun night. I just wanted to kind of walk through how I make a patch. Thinking about doing this for a clean one? Let me know if you guys are interested. If not, fuck up. I don't care. I guess that's it, man. We'll see you guys in the next one, all right?